connected as two, we may as well be a tottering child learning to walk. For now, let's keep quiet and learn what we can from our guests.
Hey, so that symbol, why'd you only show it to Aaron? You've always worn that wrist wrap. I've never seen you take it off.
That's because,
Hey, you're in a good mood.
Of course I am! Seems our ancestors were friends. They've left us both with heavy burdens to bear. But I couldn't have asked for a more perfect match than you.
This is a historic day for both our nations, and it's worth noting that this day would never have come if not for the man who brought us together. I'm speaking, of course, of Zeke Yeager. We conversed with him in secret, and before he would agree to facilitate this meeting, he negotiated with us on behalf of your island. We discussed more than Lady Mikasa.
First of all, take a look at this. That's odd. Do you recognize this? It's top secret in Marley. Well, as you may know, this omnidirectional mobility gear is an anti-Titan weapon made in Paradis. This piece doesn't belong to Marley. I procured it myself. Please, consider it a gift. I ought to mention, though, it does need a special type of fuel to operate. It's exceedingly rare. They're calling it Iceburst Stone. It's only ever been mined in Paradis, so very little is known about it. That said, you should be able to find traces of it inside that apparatus.
Zeke Yeager's proposal was that we ally with and assist Paradis in exchange for access to a resource that could return our nation to its former glory. It's a rather tempting offer. Thus, while we're aware that he made this offer without surveying your reserves, we suspect that in this modern era, a treasure like Iceburst Stone could change the world and generate a fortune in the process.
sounds like that's Hizuru's real hope.
Yelena did say that negotiations would go well because the Azumabitos are money grubbers.
This is a dangerous island to visit. I doubt anyone would take the risk if there weren't money to be made.
Hold on. So Zeke Yeager asked you to assist us? What would you assist us with?
As I'm sure you're aware, he's concocted a plan to protect Eldia and the world. We're here because this plan can only succeed with Hizuru's assistance. It calls for a 3-point course of action which would allow you to defend yourselves with your so-called rumbling. This would begin with a test run of the rumbling. You would unleash a fraction of the Titans in your walls, enough to display their destructive potential for all the world to see. That will buy you time with which to modernize and strengthen your army so as to render the rumbling unnecessary. You're 100 years behind the rest of the world. Hizuru will help you catch up. Until then, you must be able to shake the earth by maintaining the founding Titan and having a Titan of royal blood. That's the 3rd point of this plan. Zeke will pass on the Beast Titan to an individual who has royal blood, and that person must spend the 13 years they'll have left, bearing as many children as possible.
Even if we get advanced weapons, will we really stop needing the rumbling? If we choose to rely on it, we'll have to continue the practice of Titan inheritance for generations. I see how it could protect us for the time being, but is that enough of an excuse for us to push this problem onto our descendants? Of course it isn't, and yet...
I understand, and I'm ready. If the rumbling is essential to our survival, I'll do my part. I'm willing to inherit the Beast Titan from Zeke Yeager.
Historia.
If Zeke's plan is to buy our salvation, at the price of broken walls, trampled lands, and children bred to be slaughtered like livestock, then I say he can go to hell and take his sick little plan with him. Staking our survival on the threat of the rumbling is a dangerous move. So before we commit to it, we should try to find another way. Let's use what time we have to look at our options.
I felt the same sense of urgency that you did, Aaron. That said, I still don't get why you acted on your own. You pushed our island into a war we aren't ready to fight. Why? Did you stop caring about Historia?
I've taken the Warhammer Titan's power. Its hardening ability allows me to build structures from thin air.